Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of Monday morning series where I answer to a lot of your questions and I drink a cup of coffee with you. So first of all, I wanted to say I'm sorry that I haven't posted a video last week, because I actually posted the message on my YouTube channel last week saying that my videographer was on vacation and I don't film my videos by myself. I don't know how to edit them, unfortunately, so I had to wait for her to come back. And right now she is back right now and we're filming another episode of Monday morning series for you guys right now. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. The first question that not the first question, but one of the most interesting questions that I have got from you this week was the question from Chris B, and I'm gonna read it to you right now. So, dear Olka, I would like to know how you became a graphic designer. You said you had a different job before. What was the first step you took and how you succeeded to learn how to draw and learn Photoshop and Illustrator? At the beginning, isn't it hard to get jobs as a freelancer and earn a decent amount of money to pay the bills? I want to hear your detailed story. Thank you, and you inspire me. Thank you so much, Chris. So, as you can see, the question is really difficult because it consists of several questions, but at the same time, it is a really good question. So, I'm gonna try to answer step by step and I'll try to be as detailed as I possibly can. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, first of all, if I think about my path of becoming who I am right now and of becoming a graphic designer, it all goes back to my childhood and I have to talk about that. So drawing was the huge part of my childhood. It was the huge passion of mine since I was a little girl. I don't know how to explain it to you, but I just have these images and these stories and fantasies in my head they were connected with lots of different people, lots of different countries, and I had to express all of this that I had in my mind in order to keep my mind clear, and I did that with the help of a pen and paper. Creativity, and the creativity was the huge part of my childhood and I was literally obsessed with drawing. Time goes by, like I said, I was going to my regular school and at the same time I was going to music school because I have been studying in music school for 7 years. I have been learning how to play violin, how to play piano, and I remember one of the moments in my regular school, like at one of my art lessons, my teacher in art would just grab my hand and he would take me to the art school in my city, and he said, you should start going there, you should start attending art school because you have to develop your skills and you have to grow if you want to become an artist someday. So that's what I did. I started attending the art school as well. So I was attending at the time the regular school, music school 5 times a week probably, or even 6, and I started attending the art school. So, and it took me 3 months, when I think about it took me 3 months to start feeling completely overwhelmed with all of these schools, and I got to the point where I didn't have just enough time to do my homework for my regular school. So I had to make a choice. The first thing that influenced my decision was that teacher in my music school became a really good friend to my family. That was the first thing that influenced my decision. And the second thing was that I remember me thinking, if I just quit going to music school, then it would mean that 5 years of studying how to play violin and how to play piano would be just a waste of time and would be the waste of my parents' money. And as a disciplined child, I decided that I should just graduate from my music school. So I have made the decision, I have chosen music over art. So that was basically the first wrong choice that I have made in my life. And by the way, I have never played any of the instruments. I have never played violin or piano. since my graduation, because that just wasn't my thing. Music wasn't my thing. By the way, despite the fact that I quit going to art school, it didn't make any difference. I still kept on drawing every single day. Time goes by, it was time for me to graduate from my regular school, and it was time for me to think about who I want to become and what university I should enter. So, and of course, I wanted to become an artist. I wanted to connect my life with art professionally. But at the same time, I understood that I quit going to art school, so I had the fear that I will fail my entrance exams to the art university. That was the first thing. And the second thing was that people from former Soviet Union and Ukrainian people, I'm not saying that Ukrainians are thinking this way right now because time has changed, but at that time I have heard a lot of people saying that artists don't make money, don't make enough money, and becoming successful in this industry is almost impossible. So safer choice for me would be choosing the profession that will be connected with learning foreign languages. I loved learning foreign languages, specifically English language, as you can tell, and I also had a great example of this successful profession in my family. My aunt was a translator, she is a translator, and she would travel once in a while, which was also difficult for people from former Soviet Union to travel. Like, it wasn't as easy as it is right now, and she managed to do that because of her profession. So, and overall, in general, her lifestyle seemed to be very interesting for me. So I did make a choice. I have chosen learning languages over art. So basically, I have made second drawn choice in my life. 6 years of studying profession of a translator and 1 year of studying German language in Germany, because I have been living in Germany for 1 year, and student life was fun. But at the same time, I would still find some time to sketch something, to draw something, you know. I was still in love with creativity. Time goes by, and 6 years of working as a written translator, I cannot say that I didn't like doing it, because I did. I grew, I think, professionally a lot. I enjoyed doing translations. But at the same time, once in a while, I would feel that there was something missing in my life. And I felt like I wasn't living my life to the fullest. So I'm 30 years old, and I remember just thinking about doing my own business in terms of translation services. And it was the time for me when I needed some business cards for myself and some poster design, just for let people know about who I am in my city, like as a translator. And I thought, you know, I know what I want and I can do that by myself. So I opened the Illustrator program and created the business card for myself. I opened the Photoshop program and created the poster design for myself. And that was the moment. That was the moment when I realized that the one thing that was missing in my life was creativity. And I realized that, you know, I was solving this problem for myself, but at the same time I can solve this problem for a lot of other people. It all came back to me, all the dots connected. And if I think about it right now, you cannot connect the dots looking forward, like when you're a little girl and just drawing. But it was very, very clear to me when I was sitting and creating this poster design for myself and business card for myself, that you can connect the dots looking backwards 20 years later, you know? So you cannot connect the dots looking forward, but you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. And that's what happened to me. That is how I basically learned Photoshop program, by creating the poster design for myself. That is how I learned how to use Illustrator program, because I created the business card for myself. So like I said, I was solving the problem for myself, but at the same time I realized that I can solve this problem for a lot of other people. But and I'm not just saying that I can create graphic design for other people. I realized that I have this creativity in me and I can share it with a lot of other people. That's what I realized. I'm 30 years old and I remember the day after my birthday, when the friend from my regular school gave me a call, and she just opened this English language school in the capital of our country, Kyiv city, and she needed some illustrations for this school and she wanted me to do those illustrations for her. And I remember me responding, well, I don't know if I can do that because I'm a translator right now, and she said you can. So my boyfriend has got me the Wacom Intuos tablet, graphic tablet, for my birthday as a gift, and I created these illustrations for her. So, and that is how I learned digital drawing. That's how it all started. I was 30 years old, I decided to start all over. And I was a beginner again, but this time I have made the right choice. I have chosen art over anything, and that was the start. And from that time I started learning graphic design. When it comes to financial part of learning graphic design, especially at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie to you. You have to be prepared not to be able to take a salary for a while, and for a really long while. But at the same time, I knew that I would be able to have so many more skills that I did before. And it is difficult because, you know, you're working all the time and you're not going to be able to see the results for a really long time, because I created my first logo design for $10, and I have been also working as a freelancer on freelance websites, and sometimes even for free, just for good feedback. So it is difficult, like the financial stresses. And I was really fortunate because I had this second job. I was still doing written translation just to support myself for a while. And my boyfriend also gave me a huge help. I think that the main thing you can do for yourself during this learning phase is to remind yourself that you have to keep going and keep practicing, and trust that eventually something amazing will come from it, because it did for me. And also, one more struggle that I want to talk about when it comes to financial part of becoming a graphic designer is the digital age, the social media specifically. Because for me right now, the only reason I get a job is because I have a YouTube channel, is because I'm active on social media. Because if you want to become a graphic designer, you just have to make a presence, you know? You have to have your own website. If you don't, like, what are you doing? You just have to. And I consider myself to be a shy person, and I prefer to be quiet. But I had to make this switch when I realized that I really want to become a graphic designer. Because in this day and age, if you want to become a really good graphic designer or a really great artist, that's what you have to do. You have to promote yourself and you have to promote your works. You have to be prepared for that. Right now, I can say that I'm really happy about where I am right now in my life professionally, and I'm really happy that I get to follow my passion of doing something in the art space, because that's what I really care about the most. So if I could just sum up everything that I have told you right now, that I have told you today, and if I can just sum up every answer to all of the questions that I've answered today with one sentence, the sentence would be just do what you love. Because the only thing that kept me going through all of these 20 years was that I loved what I did. Despite the fact that I have made 2 wrong choices in my life, even though I have chosen the wrong profession for myself, I still was in love with creativity. I still was in love with drawing. And you've got to find that thing for yourself. Because I think that the only way to be truly satisfied with your life is just to do good work, and the only way to do good work is to do what you love. So if you haven't found it yet, just keep looking and don't settle. And I know it's such a cliche, but my time is limited and your time is limited. So don't waste your life living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of other people's opinions to shut up your inner voice. And most importantly, just have the courage to follow your heart and intuition, because your heart and intuition, they somehow already know what you need to become. So do what you love and do you at any age. And with that, I'm gonna leave you today. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I really hope that you have learned something from this video and you have learned something about my life. I'm gonna skip next week's episode because next week I'm gonna go to Paris with my mom, but I will get back to you on the 10th of December, and by that date I hope to get a lot of questions from you. Like I said, any questions you have about graphic design, about art, maybe you want to know some secrets about this industry, let me know. I'm really ready to share all of this secret information I have, because I want to become closer to you. So thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for sharing this cup of coffee with me. I wish you happy Monday, happy week, and